All right, you maggots, listen up. This blue toroid coil here, this is the first toroid coil I ever owned. I got it at the electronic barn. They had a full bin of these things, and it looked beautiful. They're blue, and they were only like 10 cents each. And I grabbed a handful, and I brought it home, and then I started realizing there really wasn't that much information on toroid coils. And at some point, I found an article, and it said put 10 turns of wire around it and then measure the inductance with an inductance meter. Now, at the time, I didn't have an inductance meter. So I basically tried using RF and trying to I couldn't figure it out. This is how it stands. Now, I have a couple different ways I can test this. Having this El Cheapo from eBay. This will measure that. I can do that now and see what the hell I got. I'm pretty sure it's pretty low in frequency. Now, I also want to tell you something I discovered. Well, I didn't discover it. It's been there. It's just I found out for myself. Now, over the years, I like this. I like this camera. You know, you center it where you think it is, and it's not centered. Well, anyway, notice the turns are separated apart from each other. They're not next to each other. I noticed. I remember one of the articles said after you wind the toroid coil, separate the windings so there's space between them. That's all it said. All right, so now we have this cheapo thing. So I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe if I wind the windings next to each other real tight and measure the inductance, let's see what happens. So I measured the inductance, and the Q was 4.5. Let's just say 4.5. Then I moved the windings apart from each other and measured it again, and the inductance stayed the same, but the Q went up, which would make sense. When you move the windings apart from each other, there's no capacitance between each other, between each winding, so you would expect the Q would go higher, and it goes a little higher. But that's how it is when you work with toroids. You find different articles, and at one point you're looking at this article, and they're telling you to use a T50-6 for the oscillator, and the guy in one sentence goes, the mixture for T50-6 expands and contracts less with temperature, so the oscillator will be more stable. That's it. Boom. That's all I could find, and that was probably in the Radio Amateur's Handbook. Now I'm thinking there might have been another Radio Amateur's Handbook, supplement book of some sort that I bought, and I read more on the toroid coils, and that's where I'm remembering some of this information. But I just went and looked. I went to the archives. You can look at every popular electronics ever made, every radio electronics, and you can also do a search of all of them for certain keywords. And I've been doing that in between doing other things. I'm still trying to find that article that you would expect to be out. I won't say fun with toroids, but that's probably what it would have been called. See, I told you, when toroid coils started becoming popular, mostly in RF, in ham radio circuits, it wasn't mainstay electronics, like popular electronics. There were a couple articles in there, and they used a toroid coil in one of their in a strobe light for your bicycle. And there's a couple here and there, and I would read these articles, and I'm like, they only just tell you just so much. But what was happening, it was electronics was shifting from radios and things like that over to computers, and toroid coils is radio or transmitter. So as popular electronics shifted, because the readers were shifting, the toroid got passed over. There are some memos in the back of the magazine. Somebody will write in and say something about a toroid coil, and the person will answer the question. But I'm still looking for that definitive book or PDF, if I'm lucky, that explains toroid coils without the frickin' formulas. You know. Oh, I had a guy made a comment that he uses a closed caption on my videos because I have a foul mouth. I guarantee you, when he watches the videos, he has a bow tie on. I make fun of people like that. I mean, you can be a nice person, but then you slip into the fuddy-duddy people. They're the people that go around, I don't really like that language. I had a teacher one time, I used the word spunky, like Spunky and Tadpole. It was a cartoon on TV. And they even used it at Mary Tyler Moore show. Mr. Grant said to, now I'm going to forget her name, Mary Tyler Moore, to Mary, you got spunk. But see, I didn't know that at the time the teacher was of a certain persuasion, and spunk means something else to him. So he didn't want me using the word spunky around him. But yeah, there's fuddy-duddies out there. And I told you that engineer Ken Recor, he says, stop letting people push you around. He says, you got to get your language a little more masculine, a little more, I'm not going to put up with your crap. And then he had me say the word, the F word several times in a row. And then he would say to me, say it with meaning, say it with feeling. And he says, you got to use that. You got to pull that word out. And that lets people know that they're not going to push you around. And you know, when you talk like Gomer Pyle, golly gee, oh gosh, golly gee. I had a guy one time tell me, I said golly or gosh, and he says, you know, that's blasphemous. I'm like, what? Now he's a fuddy-duddy. Gosh is another way of saying God, and dang, when you say dang, that's another word of saying damn. So around certain people, if you say the word damn, they get all upset. Oh damn, oh, you're not supposed to say that. They say dang, and it's amazing. But language, under certain circumstances, you have to use tougher language. You know, I don't have a bullseye on my back, all right, or a target on my back. When people stick it to me, I stick it back to them now. I'm not looking to kowtow to them and try to make money with my channel. My channel is not about making money. It's about when I realize something for myself, and then I pass it to you. That's what my channel is. And if you aggravate me, I'm going to aggravate back. So if nobody aggravates me, I won't aggravate anybody. I think that's it. All right, that's it.